So Wells Fargo used to be the biggest mortgage lender in the United States. Now they're downsizing. Instead of offering mortgages to everyone, they're going to focus instead on giving mortgages to, quote, individuals and families in minority communities. In other words, not lending money to white people. Is that illegal? The journalist and filmmaker Chris Rufo has been on this story. We should tell you that Governor DeSantis of Florida just appointed Rufo to the board of trustees at the new College of Florida in an effort to end the ideological rot there. Chris Rufo joins us now. Chris, thanks so much for coming on. This is another one of those stories that you feel like this has to be too far. Tell us what you know about it.
Well, what we're seeing is the emergence of two separate standards based on race and the disappearance of this idea that everyone should be treated equally under the law and then judged according to the behavior. I think it's important for conservatives to understand that these programs are not simply a hypocrisy or kind of two sides of a same standard. They're actually entirely different standards. We're creating a moral basis based on identity that is seeking to supplant or replace a moral basis on behavior. And these companies are just following the lead of the academics, the universities, the activists on the left. And they're saying we're going to not judge people on their financial solvency or reliability, but on the basis of a racial revenge narrative. And they're saying simply, we're going now to judge you on the basis of race. It's illegal, but in so many cases, they're getting away with it.
But I don't understand. I mean, redlining was the original sin, we've been told, for 50 years of the mortgage industry, right? Deciding we're not going to lend to areas because a certain race of people live in them. And that's exactly what Wells Fargo is doing. Why doesn't the federal government shut down Wells Fargo with armed agents tonight? I don't understand how this can happen.
Because, Tucker, this is the basis of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is not a simple colorblind equality represented in the 14th Amendment or the Civil Rights Act. It's an entirely new philosophy. It's based on critical race theory, and it's this idea that we should treat people differently based on race. And as long as we have the right racial hierarchy embedded in that philosophy, you can do essentially whatever you want. They're not doing anything different in the Biden administration because this is part and parcel of the ideology that they've adopted.
But when Wells Fargo announces we're not writing mortgages for white people and there's not some sort of mass response, you got to wonder, like, what is going on here? Chris Rufo, I sure appreciate your coming on and bringing us that story, and congrats on your appointment to the board of that college.